May is Healthy Vision Awareness Month, and per a recent survey from Prevent Blindness, a not for profit that advocates for eye health and safety, found that 75% of Americans just assumed that they would have symptoms if something were to go wrong with their vision, when in fact, many eye problems come without warning for people of all ages and especially in children. I spoke with two eye healthcare professionals about the importance of seeing an eye doctor on a regular basis and what you can do to protect your vision and prevent blindness. Why do some eye problems, let's just start with the problem to begin with. I'm wearing glasses. I've worn them since I was 10. But why do some eye problems with other people or people with a history of them just come up, just sneak up on you?
Yeah, great question. And I think this is what we're here to talk to you about today, which is oftentimes we just don't know when things are happening with our eyes, right? And it does sneak up on you. So you know this expression, which is the eyes are the window to the soul, right? And absolutely, when we think about conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure, those are conditions that we always think, well, that's going to affect my body. But in time, the changes happen and gradually can affect and damage our eyes, which can ultimately cause vision loss, right? So there's no pain a lot of times, and it doesn't necessarily happen all at once.
Let's talk about the Best Eyes for Life campaign. What is it and why it's so important right now?
Yeah, at Prevent Blindness, we think about eye health every single day, but we know way too many people just aren't tuned into their eye health as much as they should. And so we launched the Best Eyes for Life campaign as a way to educate people about the importance of eye health. Around 7 million people in this country have a vision or eye health problem that could have been prevented if it had been detected early, and that's a lot of people. And so we've engaged with our partners here, Iris and Cornelius, to help people understand some simple ways that they can help address their eye health on a regular basis.
So let's talk about some myths about eye health that are out there that could lead to this problem. Tell me about some of those, the biggest ones.
Well, we recently did a survey and found that about 75% of adults think that there will be some sign or symptom of a vision problem. And so they don't necessarily go to a doctor unless they see that. And as Dr. Chan alluded to earlier, so oftentimes that's not the case. So I think that's one of the biggest myths, is that I'll know if I need to go to an eye doctor. Another thing that, this isn't necessarily a myth, but an educational point that we're learning more and more about every day, is that we can now detect other healthcare conditions through a dilated eye exam. Things like high cholesterol, brain tumors, diabetes, et cetera. And so there are opportunities to learn about other things that are going on in your body other than just your eyes when you visit an eye doctor.
What are some steps people can take every day to make sure that their eyes, their vision remains healthy and good?
Yeah, and I would say healthy life, healthy eyes, right? So all the things that we touched on before, healthy diet, exercise, making sure that any other issues are under control, like high blood pressure or diabetes. Other things you can think about, right, as we get older, UV protection, wearing sunglasses, but also just eye protection in general. So when we think about our day-to-day sports or even activities out in the yard, things like that, wearing eye protection to prevent any eye trauma. And then going back to children, there are guidelines around when children should be seen, right? So making sure our kids are seen early and appropriately, so at birth, at 1 year, at 3 years, and making sure you're following the recommendations of your pediatrician and your eye care professional to make sure that they are seen and cared for.